In my next video, in the series of indices laws, we're going to be looking at what happens when you raise a number, or fraction, to a fractional power. For example, 8 to the power 1 over 3. Now there are a few laws that you need to remember. When you're raising something to the power 1/2, it means square root. If you're raising something to the power 1/3, it means cube root. If you're raising something to the power 1/4, it means the 4th root, and so on. So you get the law, which is 1 over n being the nth root. So let's start with some basic examples where we're just raising to the power 1 over something. Let's take 36 to the power 1/2. This means the square root of 36, which is 6. If we take 25 to the power 1/2, we're doing the square root of 25, which is 5. If we wanted to do 64 to the power 1/3, that will be the cube root of 64, which is 4. If we wanted to do 16 to the power 1 over 4, that is the 4th root of 16, which is a number that multiplies by itself 4 times to get 16, which is 2. 2, 4, 8, 16. So that's what happens when you're raising to the power 1 over something. But what if you're raising to the power 3 over 2 or 5 over 3? Well, in this case, when we're doing x to the power m over n, if we remember the law with brackets, you can write this as x to the 1 over n m times, because don't forget you multiply the brackets together. So that means you do the nth root of x and then you raise it to a power m. Whilst this looks quite confusing, it's actually fairly simple. Let's do 25 to the power 3 over 2. In this case, we'll do 25 to the power 1/2 and then we'll cube it. 25 to the power 1/2 is the square root of 25. So that is just 5 cubed, which is 125. How about if we did 8 to the power 2 over 3? In this case, we do 8 to the power 1/3, and then we square it. 8 to the power 1/3 is the cube root of 8. The cube root of 8 is 2, which we square it, and that leaves us with 4. What if we were dealing with a fraction as the base as well? Let's say we had 49 over 64 to the power 1/2. Well, in this case, the power 1/2 obviously means square root, but because we're dealing with a fraction, we can take the square root at the top and the square root at the bottom separately. So if I square root 49 and I square root 64, that leaves me with 7 over 8. And the law is exactly the same if you are dealing with fractions that are powers 3 over 2, 5 over 3, so on and so forth. Let's take 8 over 27 to the power 2 over 3. Just like before, we're going to split the 2/3 to be 2 times 1/3 and write it with our brackets. So 8 over 27 to the power 1/3, which I'm going to need none of the brackets in there, and then I'm going to square it. So I cube root, because it's power 1/3, I cube root the top, and I cube root the bottom. The cube root of the numerator is 2, and the cube root of the denominator is 3. I then look to square that, and my answer is 4 over 9. And that is how you deal with fractional indices, with a base either as a whole number or as a fraction.